Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. From today's video, we'll be starting a new chapter of class 12, which is chemical kinetics. Now, whenever you consider a chemical reaction, what we usually say is a particular reactant will be undergoing some certain changes in itself, like chemical composition of the compound, so it gives a new product. Now, if you take a reactant, so this reactant may have certain different physical and chemical properties. In a chemical reaction, what we observe is a reactant which has certain properties will be changed to a product of new type of a compound which will be having a new set of chemical or physical properties. Now, when a scientist or a chemist usually has to understand about the product which is formed, he has to know about this particular chemical reaction, and this particular chemical reaction can be explained in three specific points. One is the thermodynamics involved in the particular reaction, that is about its feasibility. He has to know about its feasibility, that is the extent of this reaction being taking place. Okay, if the reaction has no chemical thermodynamics which allows this particular reaction to happen, then it is said to be the feasibility of this reaction is less than 0. So, and second point is extent of this reaction on attaining equilibrium. Extent on attaining equilibrium. So, if the rate of, if you are considering a reactant being converted to product, it has to attain equilibrium at certain point. So, the extent of this reaction attaining chemical equilibrium. That is the second point which he has to know. And the third point is the speed at which this particular reaction is going to attain the equilibrium. Okay, so if a chemist has to understand a chemical reaction, he has to know three particular points. One is the feasibility, second one is the extent, which we usually know from the chemical thermodynamics, which we have studied in the earlier classes of class 11. Now for the speed of a chemical reaction, he has to know how fast this particular reaction is taking place, or it is tending to attain an equilibrium position. So whenever you consider certain reactions, like for example, inversion of cane sugar. So cane sugar is converted to ethanol and normal sugar molecules. So that particular reaction is a moderate type of reaction. If you consider a different type of reaction, like for example, burning of fuel in automobiles, or spoiling of milk by adding certain amount of acids to it. So how much amount of acid should be added to this amount liters of milk and so on. You need to know certain points at which a particular reaction can be easily taking place. So if we have to learn about that basic concepts of a chemical reaction, at which extent this particular reaction happens, or at which speed this particular reaction happens, or even though if this reaction happens or not, all these concepts are explained by the chapter or study of chemistry called the chemical kinetics. So, chemical kinetics is basically said as a part of chemistry which deals with the speed of a reaction being taking place. So, where what we observe is the concentration of one of the substrate or a reagent will be changing to form a new product. So, a chemical reaction which can be explained in the chemical kinetics is what they are explaining is, if you consider for a speed of a reaction, or if you consider for the speed of a vehicle itself, what we say is speed of vehicle can be calculated by distance by time. Right? Similarly, chemical kinetics of a chemical reaction is expressed in terms of time itself, but instead of distance, what we take is the concentration of either of the reactant or the product. Let us say, for example, if this particular reactant has some amount of concentration, after some time being, the amount of concentration of the reactant in the particular reaction will be reduced. That is, if you are taking the reactant in a container and you have added some reagent to it, initial position, the amount of concentration of the reactant will be the higher maximum value. After some time, the reactant has been converted to product. So therefore, the amount of concentration of the reactant will be less than that of the initial value. Or you can say that the amount of concentration of product is more than that of the initial value. Initially, there were no products at all, but after some time, some products have been formed, therefore the concentration of products will be increased. So, depending upon the decreasing rate of the reaction or decrease in the concentration of reactant or in the increase of the concentration of product, we call a chemical reactions particular rate at which it is happening. So, if we have to explain the rate at which a chemical reaction is stated, then we have to know about the concept of rate of a chemical equation. So what do you mean by a rate of a chemical equation? If you consider for reactions happening in the environment, all reactions are not happening at the same speed. If we just consider the reactions which are happening in the surroundings, like for example, milk being converted to curd. So it takes a day. It takes a day for conversion of milk to being converted if you add some amount of bacteria to it. If you observe the reaction of a cooking process, raw rice being converted to cooked rice, it takes an hour or a half, right? So if you consider for the reaction of rusting, that is iron reacting with the air and water molecules present in the atmosphere, and it forms a rust. It takes about 3 to 4 days. So most of the reactions and almost all of the reactions will not be taking place at the same speed. Therefore, if you have to classify those reactions depending upon the speed at which it is happening, then that particular concept is studied under the topic called rate of chemical reactions or the rate of chemical equation. So how to understand or how to calculate the rate of a chemical equation? Let us consider an hypothetical reaction of reactant forming a product. Let us take a direct simple equation where reactant R is converted to being a product. Okay, reactant R is forming product. So let at time t, let at time t1, let the concentration of R be R1 and the concentration of P be P1. So let it be the molar concentration. We'll write it as in square bracket. Okay. At time t1, let the concentration of reactant be R1, concentration of product be P1, and at time 2, concentration of R will be R2, concentration of P will be P2. So if you consider these particular steps, delta T, that is the time change of the reaction, change of time in the reaction, T2 minus T1. Delta T is given by T2 minus T1. Delta R is given by R2 minus R1. Right? Delta R is given by R2 minus R1. And delta P will be given as square bracket of P2 minus molar concentration of P1. So this will be the simpler change in time, concentration of reactant or concentration of product. But if you observe carefully, what we have to clearly observe is the reactant here decreases its concentration with respect to time, right? Because if you observe the concentration of reactant after a certain period of time, the concentration of the reactant will be reduced. So therefore, at time 2, concentration of R, which is R2, will be less than that of the concentration of R at time t1. Therefore, delta R is usually given as minus of concentration of R1 minus concentration of R2. That is because usually R1 is greater than R2 for a particular reaction. Now, if we have to calculate the rate of a chemical equation, the rate of a chemical equation is given as, if you are expressing in terms of product, rate of a chemical reaction is given as rate at which reactant disappears. That means the rate at which reactant is being converted to product. Reactant has to be disappeared, right? Or we can say as rate is equal to the rate at which the product appears. The rate at which product appears in the reaction. So therefore, if you have to define a rate of the reaction, the rate is equal to delta of R minus delta of T. Since delta of R is the negative value, so we have to take it as minus of minus of R2 minus R1 minus of R2 minus R1. That is because concentration of R2 is always less than that of the concentration of R1. So rate of reactant with respect to reactant decreases. So T2 minus T1. Okay. If you have to explain the rate in the case of products, rate is equal to delta P by delta T. Here, products concentration increases with time, therefore plus delta P, given as concentration of P2 minus concentration of P1 divided by T2 minus T1. So this is how you define rate of a chemical equation. If you are considering with respect to reactant, that will be minus delta R. The reaction of rate will be minus of delta R. Minus of delta R. If you are considering for the rate of the equation expressed in terms of product, that will be plus delta P by delta T. Okay. So this is about the rate of the reaction. Now, unit of the rate of a reaction. So I hope you have understood this particular concept of expressing rate of a reaction in terms of concentration of reactant and concentration of product. Now if you have to know about the units of rate of reaction, so since I said initially itself, concentration is taken as a molar concentration, right? So if you observe the reaction carefully, we have rate is equal to change in concentration. Rate is equal to change in concentration. Change in concentration divided by change in time. Change in time. So if you take concentration in molar concentration, so then it will be mole per liter. Concentration will be expressed in mole per liter. If time is expressed in second, then unit of rate of a reaction, unit of rate of a chemical equation is mole per liter. So this will be the unit of rate of a reaction. Okay. So therefore, the rate which we are considering by the change in concentration of reactant or product divided by change in time, this particular rate is called average rate of a reaction. This particular change in the rate of a chemical equation is called the average rate of an equation, which is denoted by the symbol RAV. It is denoted by the symbol RAV. Therefore, RAV is equal to minus of delta R by delta T or plus delta P by delta T. Minus delta R by delta T or plus delta P by delta T. So that is the equation which is used to calculate the average rate of a reaction. So now if you plot a graph of delta R versus delta T and delta P versus delta T, we can determine the curve at which RAV is varying. Now let us plot the graph of delta R, or you can say concentration of reactant versus time and concentration of product versus time. Now for the graph of concentration of reactant, let us take it as R0. Okay, so let us take it as R0, where 0 indicates the highest concentration at versus time t. Okay, so if you plot a graph, so what we observe is, on taking time on x-axis, the concentration which is maximum at this point is taken as R0. This is the concentration of reactant. Okay, so now let us take the points of the curve. So what we know is the concentration of the reactant decreases with respect to time. So the rate of the reaction, that is the average rate of the reaction, decreases in this way. What we have observed for a certain reactions is the rate of the reaction with respect to concentration of reactant versus time graph, it decreases in this particular exponential curve, where if you take the R1 value, that is at T1, the time the value of R1 will be this. So this will be R1. Now if at time t2, so this will be the point at which the graph curves. So this will be R2. So clearly if you observe carefully, R1 minus R2, that means R2 is less than that of R1 when T2 is greater than T1. So this particular difference is called delta T. Okay, the difference in time is called delta T and the difference in concentration is called delta R. So this particular curve RAV is equal to minus of delta R by delta T. So again, why are we writing minuses? Because with increasing time, the concentration is decreasing. With increasing time, the concentration of the reactant is decreasing. So this is the plot of concentration of reactant versus time of giving the average rate of a reaction. Now if you plot the graph of concentration of product versus time in x-axis, concentration of product P in the y-axis. So the initial value of product P is 0. Initial value of the concentration of product P is 0. Therefore, it gives a curve which is increasing exponentially like this. It gives a curve which is increasing exponentially. So, at time T1, the concentration of product will be P1. At time T2, the concentration of the product will be P2. So this particular curve is RAV of delta P by delta T. So this is the graph which is plotted for the concentration of product versus time. This is concentration of reactant. This is concentration of product. This is a positive exponential curve. This is a negative curve. Okay. So this is about the rate of a chemical equation and unit of chemical equation. In the next video, we'll discuss about instantaneous chemical equation rate. Okay. So in the next video, we'll discuss about the instantaneous rate of a chemical equation. I hope you have understood these concepts, basic concepts of chemical kinetics. And thank you for watching.